Up and Adam, this is the reactionary, and today I'm going to be revisiting this video, the 5 fake conservatives, because I've changed my opinion on a few things. I know I don't normally make videos this quickly, but I felt this was something I needed to do before I forget. So, again, let's start with an introduction. All conservatives are good conservatives, right? Wrong! There are some quote-unquote conservatives who conserve nothing, and are embarrassments to the traditionalist movement, and this is the list of those conservatives. So starting off with the change, I decided to remove progressive conservatism from the list, because I have decided, so progressive conservatives they reform society slowly instead of quickly to avoid societal collapse. So instead of, a revolution, they want to have a slow reformation until we have a new, good society. And the problems with that are, they generally support industrialism. I honestly do kind of support industrialism as long as it's clean and not oppressive. And they seek compromise with the foe. That's something that I'm not very fond of because they're milquetoast. And so Theodore Roosevelt here, he was a progressive conservative, but he and many other progressive conservatives like Sun Yat-sen and others, they did very good things. So I have decided to exclude them from the list and replace them with something else. So getting into the list, we start off with liberal conservatism. And they want to preserve the liberal status quo. And so they want to conserve this liberal progressive garbage, and therefore they conserve nothing in reality. Here we have F.W. de Klerk, and even though he did end apartheid for a heroic cause, because, racism is bad, all people are one in Christ, the end of apartheid did institute liberalism in South Africa, leading to socialism, and you can see today they're the most unequal country in the world. They have a low IQ, high levels of unemployment among both black and white people, and it basically a failed state today. So, yeah. Second, we have conservative liberalism. Isn't that the same thing as liberal conservatism? Not quite. Conservative liberalism is just capitalism with traditional values. Unfortunately, this is the most common form of quote-unquote conservatism in today's world. Capitalism is liberal enlightenment filth. It degrades human morality and erases our dignity. National distributism is the way to go. Capitalism is a fundamentally progressive system. Take a look at things like pink capitalism, where you have, corporations making money every June off of Pride Month. They're in it for the money. If they found out that it stopped making money, they would instantly stop. Ben Shapiro here rebuked Tucker Carlson for supporting protectionism over free trade with China. Shapiro will conserve nothing this way. Up next, our replacement for progressive conservatism, conservative socialism. So, unlike conservative liberalism, this is socialism with traditional values. No further comment. Socialism did not exist before the Enlightenment, and it is fundamentally at odds with traditional Catholic values such as authority, hierarchy, religion, etc. You can't have socialism and conservatism. Socialism is worse than capitalism. And Xi Jinping here, you may have noticed that he is more conservative than he was in the beginning. But however, his thought, socialism, you can see the effects it has had on China with the drastically reduced childbirth rates, the demographic crisis, and the collapsing economy now. So fourth, we have neoconservatism, spreading capitalism around the world. The worst of the 5. They're not even really conservatives. They're just, I don't even know how to describe them. They're just cosmopolitans, who go to war and bomb the Middle East. However, the reactionary variant, neo-radical conservatism, I would say is tolerable. Pork-eating crusader kind of thing, spreading Christian values. I'm not opposed to that. Matter of fact, I think we should retake the Holy Land. So, neoconservatism supports capitalism, needless to say. And they promote alliances with heathen countries such as Israel, our quote-unquote greatest ally, who bombed the USS Liberty. In the name of pragmatism, they care more about, they care more about praxis, about having strong alliances than they do about actual ideology and faith. So I can't support that. They caused excessive death worldwide, and here we have George W. Bush, who sparked war throughout the Middle East and destroyed countless innocent people, in Iraq, Afghanistan, other countries, took the enemy oil fields instead of, liberating the enemy. So pure evil, I would say. Last up, we have anarcho-conservatism. So abolishing the authority of the state, but not of tradition. And that's just an oxymoron. The state is tradition. Anarchism is inherently progressive because, anarchists, they're weak. They can't really bear the weight of authority, so they try to get rid of it because the state has existed and they don't want it. It's an oxymoron. George Orwell here was an anarchist and a conservative. He may have written several anti-communist books, such as 1984 and Animal Farm, great books, but he never conserved anything. He was also racist. And last up, we have an honorable mention, LGBT conservatism, conserving all traditional values except abhorring homosexuality. You can't just let fly any doctrine of progressivism that you like. We have to be consistent in our ethics and our beliefs. So we can't just say, homosexuality is fine, and then, continue to uphold everything else. We have to be 100% conservative, traditional, hold to the dogmas and the doctrines of the Catholic Church. Yeah. Again, seeking compromise with the foe like the progressives, conservatives. But, the progressives aren't even buying this one, so why even try? And is not only homosexual, but he's also anti-religious. And so this shows, obviously, the progressive, degenerate nature of these LGBT conservatives and why they can't be trusted. Of course, they're not part of the five fake conservatives because this is obviously just a movement based on one issue, homosexuality, and it's not actually, an ideology based on an ideal worldview as the others are, conservatism and socialism, conservatism and capitalism, conservatism around the world. This is just conservatism, but homosexuality is allowed. So yeah, that's why it's not part of the five fake conservatives. And that's all. Maybe you agree with this, maybe you don't, but yeah, so make sure that you're not a fake conservative and you're a true traditionalist, because we don't want to be weak. We want to be strong like the progressives are. We don't want to keep running away from everything or trying to make compromise. We need to stand firm, stand our ground, and not back down no matter what may come at us. So that's all I've got. If you are a fake conservative, then anathema. Thanks for watching. Bye.